So we're going to talk about digital marketing. We're going to really talk about email a lot, but we're also going to talk about SEO. We're going to talk about website design. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about just some general facts and tips that will help you when you're doing anything in the digital world. Okay? Sound good? Does anyone in here not have an email address? All right. You're going in the right direction. How about, does everyone have a website? Yes? Phone numbers? Who still has a fax machine? Whoa, there's like 25 people. Really? How many? Raise your hands again for fax machines. I don't know how to use it. Well, see, okay, now there's that, right? Somebody who's factual. I don't know what I'm doing with it. Do you use it on a regular basis? Really? Y'all are awesome. Okay. So like I said, interactive class, first impressions matter. True or false? Why? Long lasting. Anyone ever heard the phrase, you only get one chance, right? To make a first impression, it never goes away. In today's world, back when we were taught that, all of us, right? It was our elders telling us that. It was face-to-face stuff. It's not anymore. They're finding us online, right? They're using this thing called Google to look at us, to find us. Maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's Pinterest, maybe it's whatever, but it's almost always some form of digital introduction now. So my first rule of thumb before I go anywhere else in this presentation today, there's two things that have to be top-notch at all times. So if you're ever wondering how to prioritize where to spend your time in digital marketing, it is your website, it is your Google listing, right? I know other people use Yahoo and Bing, AOL still around, I think it is, right? 67% of the search engines, or searches on search engines are done on Google, okay? So make sure that that information is up to date, it's correct. I can call you when I find your information, right? And get a hold of you. Those are your number two things. Number one thing. I have not had any caffeine this morning either. Just forewarning. I have a big old bottle of water, which is really healthy for me, but doesn't do anything to like perk me up. But then you're about halfway through, you're probably going to say, shouldn't need any perking anyway, so we're fine. That's the way we're going to go. All right, this is me, my little mugshot, my title, that North Central piece that she mentioned, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Wisconsin, in alphabetical order. Soon to pick up a couple more states in that little mix too. So I live on airplanes pretty much. And I do this a lot, and it's really fun. But, you know, I can tell you that I do a lot of digital marketing, and I have for a really long time. I could tell you that I own 5 websites. I could tell you that I own a small marketing firm. I could tell you that I teach. I could tell you that I have a nonprofit background. That's what I really, really love to do, is help small and really focus around small business. That's my passion. I believe that small businesses drive our economy. I'm a political junkie. I could tell you all these things, but it's way more fun to talk about the fact that I hit play on my iPod and I won't repeat a song for 47 days because I'm a music addict. It's more fun to tell you that I've broken my nose 3 times playing football. It's more fun to tell you that I earned my varsity letter as a freshman in college. Pretty awesome. Walked away with 7 by the end of my career. And I learned a lot of things in life from athletics, right? I can also tell you that I'm a race fan, that I was just at Phoenix International for the second to last race of NASCAR. So at the Michigan race, I was also at Charlotte for Speed Week this year with my son, which is way cool. I'm a mom of 3 boys, so my house smells all the time. See, that's way more fun than all the business stuff, right? And kind of fun. Pieces of that are going to come into the presentation this morning. So what I want to talk about in digital marketing, and especially in email for this particular slide, is that email marketing is the difference between this and this. Okay, we've got our Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail on the left, and using a software that's going to make you look professionally branded, consistent with everything else that you have out there in the world, and communicating a specific message. It's also going to let you highlight and click and break apart and have calls to action. Okay? Who here knows what Constant Contact actually is? A few of you. Okay, very good. We are a software company for small businesses to do professional-looking email marketing. That's how most people know us. But we actually have a lot of other pieces as well. Has anyone ever heard of Groupon? Right? Okay, we have an offers and promotions component as well in our product that is Groupon, that you run and control and keep all the money. You don't have to share it with anybody else, which is kind of cool. We have a feedback and surveys. You all know what online surveys, right? Trying to get feedback from our customers after an event. And then we have an event and registration tool. So you can handle digital registrations, collect payments, donations if you're a nonprofit, working with an event, that kind of a thing, too. So we have this big ball piece. And that's the end of what I'm going to talk about constant contact. You're going to see examples in here from them because that's who pays my paycheck. But we're really talking about digital marketing in general. If you want to take advantage of this, because we had such an awesome class last year here, which was, any of you in my class last year here? A couple of you. Hey, I got some returners. I must not be that bad. We like it. All right, but we can do constant contact for $5 a month for your first 3 months if you're interested in trying it out. And I will tell you how later. All right, impact of mobile on email. Do you think that's a big piece or a little piece in the world we're in right now? Big. How big? Throw out some percentages. Higher. Right in between. 76% of emails are opened on a mobile device today. Now, by mobile device, I can't even have mine. This is how mobile it is. It's in my pocket, right? Anyone have one of these? Yeah, right? I don't care what brand, unless you're a Galaxy Note 7 that you can't have on an airplane anymore. Okay, what do we call these things? That's what we should call these things, right? We all say, I walk around the house like 15 times a day. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? This is actually only used as a phone for me 12% of the time. It's my calculator and my book and my Rolodex and my camera and my photo album and my music, right? It's games, it's social media, it's my computer half the time, it's my email. And yeah, sometimes I actually talk on it, right? But when I'm saying mobile device here, I want us to all know that we're on the same page. I'm talking about phones or tablets, not computers. So not laptops, not a desktop computer, phones or tablets. And the average phone size screen is 2 by 4 inches. So you need to think about that when you're putting your mobile communications together in our digital world that we live in. They're looking at it on a very tiny screen, right? Some people have does anyone have like the big, I call it the iPad mini, like the 6 Plus or whatever that is, like the giant thing. It doesn't fit in a pocket, I can't do it. People check their phones 150 times a day, on average. A little interesting statistic. I do love statistics. I don't love finance so much, but I love statistics. So you're going to get a lot of those this morning, too. Has anyone already passed this morning? Not yet? It's still early, right? It's still only 8 o'clock. I haven't yet. I'm probably at about, I don't know. I'm well over 50, though, because I've already had 10 phone calls today. That's quite a bit, right? 150 times a day. I also saw a statistic that if you are 45 or under, for 22 hours of the day, you're never more than 2 feet away from your phone. Whoa, right? That's more than our spouses, yeah, right? It's important. We are in a tethered, connected world, and we have to keep our minds on top of that in our digital connections, right? People are finding us everywhere, and we have to make sure that our brand and that we look the best we can in all of those places, and that it looks good on a really small screen. When email does not look good on mobile, 80% of people are going to just delete it. Not going to look at it at all, and 30% of people are going to unsubscribe from your list. Now that's kind of like the black hole for email. Someone unsubscribes from your list, you can't add them back in. Now there's a couple of tools that are coming out in the world that are going to help you re-add them back, kind of a thing, and they can add themselves back, but legally you can't add them back. So you don't want that to happen. All right, we haven't even gotten to the agenda. Anyone good? Can we walk out the door because we learned something today so far? Maybe. All right, here's what we're going to cover. We are going to cover branding, making our information shareable across lots of markets. We're going to talk about fonts, because I think so many people skip over that piece, and it's really important. We're going to talk about colors, content, images, and we're going to talk a lot about mobile impact. Good morning. See, he wants to sit in the front because he doesn't want to get picked on either. It's all good. All right, here's the number one rule to digital marketing. Don't let this be you. For those of you in the back who maybe can't see, I came online to check the weather, and that was 12 years ago, right? I'm going to go log on to Facebook, and I'm going to post this. And then you're watching the guy, like, face punch the kangaroo, right? You know, or the sheep jumping on top of each other, or the little cute puppies that are moving around, right? It's a black hole. So when you're working on your marketing, I recommend setting a timer. Make an appointment in your calendar, just like you would for your accountant, for your lawyer, for your boss, for your mother, whatever you need. But make an appointment, set it on a time frame, and if you need to set a timer, guess what? You got one of those in your pocket, right? Set a timer. Get in to do what you need to do and get out, because it's an integral part of your business, and you need to treat it as a piece of your business. But this is easy to happen. You want to avoid that. My second best piece of advice is this. And oh, by the way, I should tell you this too. Take pictures of any slides you want. I don't care. I share everything. If you want me to send the slides to you after today, I'll be happy to do so. You just need to give me your information. I don't have any way to collect it from you otherwise. So give me your business card or something afterward, and I'll be happy to send those to you on Monday, okay? All right, so this is a content calendar. I actually stole this from a Chamber of Commerce. I thought they did a really good job with it. And it's a couple years old probably, but it still works really well. One thing that I think happens a lot, especially in smaller organizations, is you might have one person that's in charge of the website, but you're the one that does Facebook, and you might be the one that writes all the articles for the newsletter, right? It's going to be a little, everyone's got their pieces in it and their hands in the pie. So you need to have some kind of a calendar laid out so that you know what's going to be posted where and when, right? You need to make sure that you're not jamming up days. You don't want to have too many things all at the same time and then the rest of the month not have anything, right? We want to spread it out so that we're constantly reminding people that we're here, that we're open for business. And then the other thing is, too, when you can look at something like this, you can go, oh, wow, okay, if I'm going to post a flash sale, I'm going to do it right here on the 9th, right? It's pretty open. You can see it. But it also trains your mind, too, to remind you that it's not all digital. It's not all website. It's not all print. It's a big component. There's a lot of pieces, and there's a lot of people involved in it. I would recommend printing this and having it at everyone's desk, too. Don't just have it in a digital form stuck in a file that no one can find on your computer either, right? Guilty. Yes. Oh, it's on the shared drive. The big black hole of the shared drive because you don't know where anything is. Yeah, welcome to my life, right? It's on the G drive. We call it the G drive. It's on the G drive. Please send it to me again so you find it. But post it so you know who's doing what, where, when. You can work together. The other thing is, too, when I talked about different people doing different pieces, right, you need to be careful in your branding on that too, because sometimes you might use a little bit different terminology than you might use, right? Or you might have different examples. You need to be consistent across all your digital marketing pieces too. So, and that includes your language that you're using and the speak that you have, so that it sounds like you and your business. Whoop. Wrong one. All right, anyone know what these are? Social media, right? Does everyone know what all of those are? Okay, all together, class. Ready? Email on the last one. Very good. Okay, good job on the Google+. Who here has a Google+ profile? Okay, here's your homework for today. If you do not have one, you need to have a Google+ profile for your business. Pardon? Well, that sets me up perfectly for what I was just going to say. Google Plus actually doesn't really do anything. It's like the dirty little secret of social media. So then you're like, well, you just told me I had to set up a profile. Come on, dingbat. No. Google Plus is really good for their own searching, right? Google loves Google. And I already mentioned how Google's the #1 search engine, right? They search their own products first, which includes Google Plus. So a few years ago, Google said, I'm going to give Facebook a run for their money. We're going to create our own social media network. We're going to call it Google+. Here it is. It's wonderful. We love it. You should love it too. It was terrible. I mean, it was bad. So they kind of went, we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to clean it up a little bit. Great. So they gave it a little reboot. Worse than the first one. I mean, it was really terrible. And then they said, yeah, we're just going to stick to what we know. We're going to go back to being the search engine. Great. And 2 months later, ta-da! Here's the new and improved Google+. They really want to be in the social media world. It's not really social media. But because it's their own product, they search it first for SEO. And so that counts for when you have new information, it keeps you fresh and at the top of their list. Google Plus can help you with all that. So here's my recommendation. set up your Google Plus profile. It's going to take you 10 minutes. It's just like every other social media profile that's out there. Make sure all your information is correct, just in case somebody does go there to find you. And you're going to post something like once a month, every 30 days. So is that the day you need to call your accountant or your mother's if you forgot to the last month, right? However it was. Whatever that trigger is, it's going to help remind you once a month to do it. Do it. Go in and like something, share something out there, and then walk away from it for another month. But you'll have fresh content, and it'll help with your SEO on your website. Great question. Yes? For your business. Very good question. For your business. All right, if you're not on any social media, start with Facebook, because that's where everybody is. Where almost everybody is. I personally am getting really, really tired of Facebook, right? I just am like, ugh. It's a lot of work. It's not really all that interesting anymore, except for the kangaroo. That was kind of funny. Every now and again, you get those funny little things like, ooh, that's good. But it's so rare. But here's my thing. If I actually walked away from Facebook for a while this year. I took like a 3-month hiatus. And my aunts and my grandmother started like hounding me. I haven't seen the boys. Where's the pictures of the boys? What have you been up to? I don't know what you're up to anymore. Like, ugh. They're my personal market. They might not mean my professional market, but they're my personal market. So I need to stay on Facebook because that's where they are. And they want to see my family grow. And my family's growing rapidly because they're teenagers. It's happening. Professionally, I have more followers on Twitter. That's where my professional audience is. And at first I didn't like Twitter. But Twitter really works for my business and what I'm doing here. So here's my advice on social media. Outside of this little bugger in the middle, which is the must for your SEO, it's important. If you're not going to play by their rules in terms of how often you're going to post, what kinds of things you're going to share, all of those little pieces, you're doing your business more damage by being in those than you are to not be there at all, okay? So let's say you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, right? Facebook, you need to post 2 to 3 times a week, you're good to go. It's really fine. LinkedIn, you can get by with 1 to 2 times a week if you're going to be there. This is more thought leadership. This is more entertaining. Twitter's a little mix of both. But you have to be posting 2 to 5 times a day for Twitter to consider you an active user. Right? 2 to 5 times a day. Doesn't 1 to 2 times a week sound a little bit better? Right? But I don't know about you, I don't have a ton of people in LinkedIn that are making it work for my business. So you not only have to find out what you can manage, but you need to find out where your followers are going to be. Where are your customers and your clients, right, your potential leads? Where do they live in the social media world? And you need to be there. Whether you like it or not, you need to be there to help draw them to you. But be really good at 1 or 2. Don't try to be a little bit of everything to everyone. It's not going to work. Get your 1 or 2, be really great at it, and then add a 3rd one in. And then if you can get really good at those 3, add a 4th one in. Do it that way. But don't do this. Pinterest is the same way, by the way. Anyone on Pinterest for your business? Yeah, for your, right? See, okay, hands up. Yeah, I love Pinterest. No, not for work. I don't love it, right? Like, woo! Women foodies, crafters. That's traditionally who's on Pinterest. 2 to 5 times a day there also. You have to have professional quality photos if you're going to be on Pinterest too to make a difference for your business. So things to consider. Yes? Good little page? Okay. Here is a quick little snapshot thing too. This tells you how I was giving you some of those things. Everybody's on Facebook. LinkedIn's business focused. Everybody's on Twitter for the most part now. Pinterest is mostly women, younger-ish adults. We say ish. That means 50 and under pretty much nowadays. Instagram is climbing tremendously fast in popularity. If you're not on Instagram, it's so easy. It is my favorite social network. I don't have to comment. It's fast. I tap it, it puts a little heart that I liked it, and I move on to the next one. Ding, 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 ding. It's fun. It's good. Google Plus is mostly men, IT, and marketing people. Software world is where Google Plus lives, and it's really not that great, to be honest. Yeah. Instagram, 3 to 5 for your business. Yeah. Yeah. 3 to 5 for business. For Instagram is what he was asking. Pardon? Week. I don't know whoever asked that part, but a week. 3 to 5 times a week. All right, let's talk about colors and logos and brand. Any other questions on social media? We're going to tap in a little bit more as we go. There's always a lot of options, so I can't tell you if there's a better one for you or not. Just guessing, but does everyone know what Hootsuite is? It's kind of a social media management platform, right? There's Hootlit is another one. There's TweetDeck is another one that's pretty popular. I would say that Hootsuite and TweetDeck are probably the 2 most popular in terms of what I see. They're really effective. They're really good. If you're in multiple social media accounts, easiest way to manage all of them is to set up something like Hootsuite, TweetDeck, one of those. It's one place to log in. You connect all of your social media platforms to it. You can schedule when you post. You can see how many times you're mentioned across all those multiple platforms. It's pretty cool. The free version, I think, gives you 3 accounts to link. Is it 30 days? Okay, and I think at that point you get 5 platforms to connect to. So fairly reasonable if it's something you're really going to spend a lot of time at and you want to condense the amount of time you use. It's good. Hootsuite, Hootsuite, or TweetDeck, Tweetdeck, are the 2 most popular ones out there. And listen, there's tons of choices and options for all sorts of things out here in the world. So if you've got something that you like better, share it, because we're always looking for better resources too. So it's good. And it's not always one size fits all, which is great about digital. All right, you need to be consistent with branding and logo and color. We've already talked about the language piece. In these 3, what do you see consistent? Pictures, color. How about placement, right? Like this is the same on the website and in the email, so it looks similar. Yes? Fonts are similar. Can you tell that it's cupcakes? You know, they've got main cupcakes things here. I actually didn't know those were cupcakes. I didn't know what they were, to be honest, but they are cupcakes. But then they've got cupcakes down here. They've got cupcakes down here. They've got the rainbow United States here, right? I'm from Michigan, so we're going to give the Michigan example here. What you really don't want to happen is you don't want your website to be blue and white, because those are your colors for your blue and white. I don't even know colors for what I'm talking about. Green and white for Michigan State is where I'm going with that. You don't want to be green and white on one place and maize and blue in another, right? And in digital marketing, it's very easy to get super creative. There's lots of cool fonts, there's backgrounds, there's colors, there's this, there's that. Try and be consistent and then just add in some additional little perks, right? Like add in the snowflakes on the side or something. But keep your branding consistent from place to place. If I find you on Facebook and I want to go to your website and I do that and it looks completely different, you've now just placed doubt in my mind. Is it really you? I don't know. You don't want that. All right. Anyone know the difference between these 2 fonts? Yes? The what? Yes? The serif. What about them, though? What do they look like? Okay, do you know what the serif is? The feet, right? You guys know that? Sans is actually without. Okay, so this has feet and this doesn't. Why are these important to know the difference between the 2? Not really. You want to use them both. Yeah. Yes. Very good. Readability is exactly where I'm going with this. Okay, so if you're doing printed, I need a Diet Coke. Okay, if you are doing printed material, magazine, newspaper, flyer, postcard, right? You want to use the feet. You want the font with the feet because it's easier to read in a traditional print method. Okay, so yes, you want to use it. But if you're doing anything for digital, website, email, a flyer that you're going to post digitally, then you want to use the sans serif font. Some of the popular ones over here, Arial, Helvetica, Verdana. I like Calibri. That's my favorite one. Over on the other side, Baskerville, Georgia, Times New Roman. It's a cool little fact, right? Something easier to know. All right. Hey, how about this for some wake up? Yeah. Well, no, email is considered digital. It should be without the feet. All right, what to do and what not to do. These are 2 travel companies that use Constant Contact. I took their own contact information off of them, so this is all fake, kind of. But these are actual emails that they sent out. And they're both for travel. A little different from one to the other. If you were going to go on vacation, who would you order from? The right one? I don't know, you can get a good little family vacation on the left, probably, right? Maybe. Well, so when I'm talking about it, I see the one on the left. That's my daily life. Chaos. It's all over the place, right? This is what I live. I have 3 children. I have a job where I travel a lot. I have a husband. I have a big family. It's crazy. I want to go and be calm and serene when I'm on vacation, right? This is what I want, the one on the right. There are actually some really good things about the email on the left, and there are some things that aren't so great about the one that's on the right. So let's talk about the one that's on the left first, our chaotic one. What do you not like about that? Hard to read. Too many colors. You said color contrast. What else? Too many words. Oh, you know, it's been 3 classes since someone's picked that part out. Do you know what the average amount of text you're supposed to have in an email is right now? No more than 20 lines. 20 lines. Right? It starts becoming a novel, and we are scanners in today's day and age. And if we want to read more, we can click to go somewhere else, right? And get more information if you really capture us. Right. Okay, how about the photos on the left? Not high quality. What was over here? Generic. Inconsistent, not sized correctly, right? So there's a lot of information. Okay, how about the call to action? Good? Call or email us now. Hey, that's pretty good. Do it. You're asking me to call or email. Either you give me an option. There's also a call us now in the lower right of that one too. I like that they put 2 calls to action that are the exact same thing. The end result is that they're saying contact me, right? That's good because that can be a generational thing. That can be a man-woman thing. That can be a kid thing where I might want to call and you're going to email and you want to click on the website, right? We like to do different things, but the end result is contact me. So that's good. The call or email us now. The colors are terrible. There's about 4 fonts in that one little block, and there's more than 10 exclamation points. You guys even see the exclamation points back there? Maybe not way in the back, but there's a bunch of them. So if you have to use more than 1 exclamation point, you need to go back and find some more exciting vocabulary. Okay? You only need 1. Don't use more. It's overuse, and it takes away from what's important. And it's not exciting. They use them up in the very top one. They use it in the middle. Call us now has another one. So I would say correct. Photos are bad. They're ill-sized. The one on the top right is actually pretty good. How about the logo placement? Top left? It does kind of get lost. I don't think it's that bad, actually. Right? Your logo should always be in the center or the top left for everything that you do. Business cards, letterhead, website, email, all of it. Anything you do in a digital world, your logo should be connected to your website. If I click on it, it should take me to your website. Okay? It also has a label on the top. It says May newsletter. All my pieces walking around. And my hair. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Right there. It says May newsletter. I like that it's labeled because if you are actually giving me information that I want to keep and refer back to, I can go back and find May, I can find June, I can find April. I can try and remember what you have where. Okay, let's talk about the one on the right. Social share button. Awesome. That allows me, the recipient of your email, to share this on my social media sites. Super powerful. Logo's good on this one. White space. Okay, so this is actually a really good use of white space right here, but it's very limited. This is an excellent use of white space. White space is way overlooked in digital marketing. It can be very, very powerful. So think about where you want to use it. The things you can't see on these pictures are not clickable. So if I click on it, it doesn't take me anywhere. These are. The book now, obviously. Contact me. kind of a thing, right? Yeah. It's not on that one. Correct. And the other thing is, where's the contact information? Right? They are actually both have their contact information at the bottom, which is pretty typical. But here's the other thing you have to remember. When we were growing up, and we actually read these things, I actually still do read it because I get it outside my hotel door every day. Where's the important information? Above the fold, right? So in our digital world, where's the important information? Above the scroll. It's whatever's on my screen without me having to move it, right? So your important information needs to be on top. Important information. You're trying to sell a travel package? Maybe you should have your phone number up closer somewhere where I can see it, where I don't have to search for it. All right. We're going to talk about teaser text or pre-header text. Does anyone know what this is? A couple people saying, yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, so if you pull out your mobile device, this is on a mobile device, this is not on a computer, and you open up your email, you're going to see this, which is your sender, this, which is your subject line, and this, which is the pre-header text. If you're using a subscription service like ours or any of the others, you can customize what this says. If you're not, and you're just sending out like an Outlook or a Gmail, it's going to read the first 2 lines of your email and put that in there. So a lot of them you'll see that says like having trouble viewing this email because they're not customizing it. It's stuck right in there. So you can do that. I'm going to show you how. It's also different than the preview pane. Does everyone know what a preview pane is, right? In Outlook or Gmail, where you can basically see the whole email before you're opening it and actually doing anything with it. That does not count as an open. A lot of people ask that question. So your open rates, there's a lot more people actually seeing your email than it looks like in your open rates because of preview pane. This is different than the preview pane. This is what it looks like when you actually open it up. Here's the sender, share bar. This is where the pre-header text goes. It's on the top. Okay? Kind of cool. So it reads your top 2 lines. If that weren't there, it would be reading this until it filled up the space. Just a little fact. All right, I want to talk about content. How are we doing on time? 8:36, we're doing pretty good. Okay, why is your email content so important? And it says email, but content in general. Website, social media, email. Why is it important? Right? Why else are you doing it? If you're not trying to put information out there, right? It's the information. What do you want to tell me? What am I supposed to know? What do I not know that I need to know? What's that burning question, right? Where do you get your content now? Hey, internet, right? To where? Google? Google Plus? Where you get it? All right, content is currency. That's what you have to think about this as. What you're putting out there is what you want them to buy. What do you want them to buy? Are you a driver looking for a sponsor? Are you the parts guy that's looking for the team to buy them? Right? What is it that you're trying to do? You need to make sure that you are the source that your readers know, like, and trust. And if you really need to know where to start, you want to answer your questions, your customers' questions, before they ask them. If you're doing that, you're going in the absolute right direction. But if you're not sure where to even start when you're doing this, what was the last question you got from someone? Right? Was it, how much was this? Or was it, how do I have no idea what to even stick in here. I usually use a landscaper as an example. You know, how do I keep the grubs out of my yard? When's the best time to trim a lilac tree? When do I plant new grass? How do I keep my dog off my new grass? Right? Like any of those kinds of things. Start there with your customers' questions and build out. A really great content rule of thumb is very simple. It comes down to 3 things. You need a picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. And call to action means click here, call today, buy now, donate here. It can be all sorts of things. Come visit the store. Visit booth number 322 at the PRI show. Right? Is anyone booth 322? I swear they didn't pay me to say that. I don't even know who that is. But it's really simple. A picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. This is a pretty good email and when it comes to breaking down what's what, right? Good quality picture on the top. Hawaii vacation special. Can you tell that I'm like ready to go? I'm using a lot of vacation examples lately. I've noticed that myself. Very little text, specific and to the point. Click here to view. Basic information, forward to a friend. Very simple, very short, very sweet, right? Here's the other thing when it comes to content. We often think, I'm the professional. I am the one that does this for a living. I know it all, which is true. But your audience doesn't know everything that you do, right? Your customers don't know that. That's why they're your customers. You've got something that they don't have, right? Or they don't know. You have to write for your audience. And you have to write in a very, very elementary, basic level. Any kind of marketing really should be written for an 8th grader to understand. Think of it in that way, an 8th grade comprehension. You're like, oh, I know, I'm getting a bunch of giggles over here in this corner. Pardon, you teach 8th grade? Exactly. That's my point, right? That's exactly my point. Because we're trying to make it very, very, very understandable for everyone in the room, everyone that's involved. Would want to put a smile on your dog like this? Okay, that doesn't answer at all either. I am also missing my dog, who's being really weird. I've been posting a lot of dog photos myself just because my dog has decided she's crazy. I don't know what she's doing. Last chance to sign up for May 29th to June 1 camp in the Berkshires. Okay, great. Kind of fun, right? Anyone know what content curation is? It's when you're doing the writing, but you're not really doing the writing. You're using someone else's writing. And you're not plagiarizing because you're going to give them credit via this, contacted from here, gathered from this source. So if you're trying to put together an informational newsletter, maybe it's, the top 5 racing tips of the week, and you only came up with one, and you were number 2, and you were number 3, and you were number 4, and you were number 5, right? And guess what happens when you start doing stuff like that? You start paying attention to you a little bit more, right? And you're like, oh, he just gave us a whole bunch of credit and put me in front of his customers. I should probably return the favor. And he starts doing it, and it starts generating. Now you're in front of other people's information and other people's contacts, other people's social networks, and your marketing reach just keeps growing and growing and growing. Good? Yeah, it's really good. Exactly. I had no idea they were even doing that. And that happens a lot too, right? But when you do it, you kind of feel like a little soft spot for them, right? Hey, they like what I'm doing. It's good. Better? If I stand here and just do this for the rest of the morning, maybe we'll be just fine, right? The mannequin challenge? All right. Where do you find stuff to curate if you're going to borrow it from other people? The number 1 rule there is very simple. Give credit where credit is due. If it's not your article, give credit to the person that wrote it. That's it. Check the news. Go to blogs, social media, great things. Google Alerts. Do any of you use Google Alerts? This is like the coolest thing ever. Does anyone know what it is? A couple people kind of. Okay, for those of you that don't, I don't know if it's because you're not awake or you really don't know, so we're going to tell you. Google Alerts, you can go to google.com/alerts. It's a free tool. You set up what information you want. I recommend putting your own name. You should Google yourself and know what other people are saying about you. You just should. You should also put your business name. Create a second one for that so you know when people are talking about you, using your stuff. And then you should set up anything else that's pertinent to your business, right? So it might be racing, maybe it's spark plugs, maybe it's Indiana. You can get as specific as you want. You can set up how often those alerts come to you. So what they're going to do is Google's going to search the interwebs and find that. I have mine set up to send it to me once. It's anytime for my personal, like for me, Erin Bemis, anytime someone posts something online, I get an email that tells me where it's being said and what's being said, so I can go find it. For my business, it's once a day. And then I have a couple of others that I do. I follow some of my competitors to know what they're doing and what they're up to in the world. And I get those once a week. It's kind of slick. Free. Subscribe to other people's email lists. You might have an email list. Jump on one of your competitors. See what they're doing. Keep up on top of that. And just don't forget to give credit. All right, let's not forget that images are credit too. Images are content too. 90% of the information processed by the brain is visual content. You need to have photos in your digital marketing, okay? They're important. They get you a long way. You don't even have to write anything with it. You can just post a photo and be good, if it's the right photo, right? Chocolate, anyone? There's no bad time of day for chocolate. Let's just be clear. Okay, pictures are super, super important in your digital marketing. Yes, we're talking about visual images. In an email on your website, no more than 3 to 4 photos on a page. Okay, no more than 3 to 4 photos in an email, no more than 3 to 4 photos on a website. On your website, you have to be very careful too. You want high quality professional photos, but you want your photographers to switch them into a high res option for you so that they don't eat up all the loading time. It's awesome to have these spectacular photos, and it totally sucks when it takes 5 minutes for your page to load. Because I'm not going to wait for 5 minutes for your page to load. I'm gone. I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't have time to wait for this. So make sure you're working with your photographer to get the right stuff for social media use. 82% of people pay more attention to emails with pictures. Interesting. All of your pictures should be clickable, and you should be using alt text, or some of them call them text labels, some of them call them photo descriptions. Alt text is what is read by machines for someone who's visually impaired, but it's also very handy when I open up an email and I get a gray box with a little red X and a bunch of gobbledygook that I don't understand, right? We've all seen that thing. Instead of the bunch of gobbledygook, it can say Bill and Tom in front of the mountains on the bike, or whatever you want it to say, and hopefully you're a little more creative than that, but it's early Friday morning. That's what you get out of my brain. 3 or fewer images for highest click-through rates, and you want to spotlight your services, your products, your employees, and your customers. And please, 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 do not print a piece of paper out of your printer, take a photo of it, and upload it to either your website or your email. Don't do it. And I still have to remind people not to do that. It's bad. None of it's clickable. None of it's tracked. Why are the clicks so important? You've heard me say clickable a lot. Why is that so important? Absolutely. My reporting and my analytics. I know who's clicked on what, at what time of day, and how long they were on that page, right? Now, the one thing with that information, if you're in an association world, perhaps, something like this, you don't want to, sorry, what's your name? Wayne. Wayne, are you having problems sleeping? Because I saw that you were opening my email at like 3 a.m., right? You clicked on such and such, you were there for 20 minutes at 3 a.m.? Don't say that. It's a little big brother, right? Don't let people know that you have access to this data, but you do have access to the data. If you're not getting it from somewhere else, make sure you're signing up for Google. You'd think I work for Google today, I swear. Google Analytics are also free for your website, right? So you're paying attention. Who's spending time on what page? Who's looking at what products? What pictures are they clicking on? What articles are they reading? How much time are they spending there before they go somewhere else? And where do they go when they leave me? You can know all of that stuff, and it helps you make better marketing decisions. All right, what's this? How do you know it's a video? There's a little play sign, right? Dead giveaway that it's a video. This is an email that I took a screenshot of. But when I'm checking my email, I don't get to see what's in it unless I open it, right? So how do I know that there's a video in there if I don't have it in the subject line? Most of my emails won't load if they have attachments. But no, you have to put it in the subject line. That's the point of this one. Has to be in the subject line to let them know. Videos are the hot thing right now. And it's only going to continue to get hotter in terms of marketing. Shoot it from your phone. Buy a little portable one, for $100. If you're going to do videos on your own, you can do one of two things. If you're going to make them where you're trying to make a series of some kind of like informational shot kind of stuff, then I would also recommend spending $30 or so on a little portable tripod so that your video is not doing this, right? Muchos helpias. It's good. Consumers are 50% more likely to read emails that include video. That's some early 2016 data. Those numbers have only gone up this year from there, and they're going to continue to climb, especially now that we have Snapchat, which is all video, right? We have Instagram, we have Facebook Live, we have all these pieces that are video-based, and it's really good. It's really cool, and there's a lot of opportunity there to get super creative and fun. Some tips for them. Keep them under 90 seconds. I would actually say you're going to be even better if you can keep it to a minute. Okay, I had a Chamber of Commerce actually just send me an email this week that we partner with chambers a lot. And there was a chamber that said, hey, you were talking to me about videos back in May when we were at the such and such conference. I said, yeah. I said, I switched to it. I started using videos for my monthly newsletter via email. I said, you did? Awesome. He goes, we have a 47% open rate. Whoa. And he goes, and we posted on our Facebook page, and every single video that they're posting is reaching at least 1,500 people organically. They're not sharing it. They're not putting money behind it to spend. People love it. And it helps. He's funny. He's really funny. He's like, at one point, he has like the board chair, the outgoing board chair is the latest one. And he says, I just want to wrap up this little session and really thank, Bob Smith for being our board chair. Don't you think it was a really great year? And the camera like pans over to the side, and Bob's sitting there, and Bob's like, oh, it was so great, Kurt, thanks. And they go back to Kurt. That's all we have for today. Kind of go. It's just funny. It's silly humor, but it's really good. Use video for product demos, testimonials, promos, all sorts of things. You can go on and on. One other thing that I would say about the video. One, you have to mention it in a subject line. Two, if you're going to do videos and you're going to do things like for your website or for your email specifically, put a cover sheet on it like this. It's very simple in any of the video software editing that you're going to do. But move it down, for crying out loud, so I can actually read it. Because that circle is always going to be in the middle. That's not movable, okay? So let me see what it is. Just a little tip. All right, did she really say $5 for this? Yes, I did. No way. No, seriously. Okay, we're going to tell you how later. $5 a month. Okay, working with photos. Sticking with the photo theme here. A lot of people don't know what size photos they need for their headers and for all their social media stuff. So 600 by 200 pixels for all of your header images on things. 600 pixels wide, that's the height scale for anything else. Avoid copyright issues. Never use anyone else's photography without permission. Let me just say that one more time. Never use anyone else's photography without permission. Right, Mr. Photographer in the back? Right on. All right, use your own photos, use stock images. There are plenty of places that you can go that you can get free, great quality stock photos. Most photographers that I talk to actually say that they spend at least one day a week trolling the internet looking for people that have used their photos and they're going after them. So don't let that be you. Don't do it. Just give them credit or ask permission. If you ask permission, they're probably going to say yes because it's just more exposure for them too, right? Circling around. So freedigitalphotos.net, stockvault.net, and freeimages.com are a bunch of great sources. If you are using an email service, most of them also have a stock photo page that you can access. The hot little tip that my company doesn't want me to tell you either, if you're looking for a 4-leaf clover in those stock images, you type in 4-leaf clover, the first 10 that pop up are going to be like $4.99, $8.99, $3.99. Type in 4-leaf clover free, and all the free ones pop up to the top. Okay? Always. Sorry, I just moved on you. You can upload your own photos if you're, again, using an email service like ours or whoever else. You can also connect your Facebook and Instagram accounts right into your email account so that when you go in to build your email, all of those photos are already there that you've taken from your smartphones. It's pretty slick. Okay, we're winding down here. More than a third of people, again, can you tell that I want to be on vacation? Like, picking all these photos. Give me warm, and it's only day 1 of snow. More than a third of people open an email based on the subject line alone. That's pretty significant, just based on the subject line. So let's talk about this for a second. How many of you have already checked your email today? How many of you checked your email before your feet even hit the floor today? Busted, right? Okay, so that's a lot of us. Did you play the game? How fast can I get all of this out of my way, right? And we're trying. And some of us are getting really good at getting rid of those really fast. But what if I'm the sender, right? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the one that's like in your way, inconvenient. How do you decide what's what? How do you decide which one you're going to keep and which one you're going to delete that fast as you're laying in bed before you're even awake? How many times have they contacted me in the last 24 hours? What else? What? Subject line? Sender? Does the sender go into that play? What about what time you got it? Right? It might be not really. Sender and subject line in that order. Okay, so we all have different things that we look at, right? That's my point. But those are all things you need to think about when you're getting ready to send your own information. What are your recipients' habits? What are they going to do? We call it the 2-2-2 rule. You have 2 seconds and 2 words to get someone to open your email today. There's your 2. 2 seconds, 2 words today. Because you want to be today. Because you're going to be like a now, later, never kind of a thing. They're either going to open it now. And if I open it now, it's got a compelling subject line. It's from my boss. Maybe it doesn't have a subject line at all. And Richard's just like, you need to. Morning. Okay, great. I'm on it. Right? And maybe it's a time of day, too. Could be 3 o'clock this afternoon when I'm sitting at my connection flight on my way home, and I'm checking all my email just because I'm passing time. Could be, right? But those are the things that you're thinking about. Who sent it to me? What are they sending to me? And do I have time to deal with it now? Right? Because the nows, my boss, I'm going to open that email the first time I see it every single time. Doesn't matter what those other 2 things are. He's a now. But that Chamber of Commerce newsletter usually goes into the later pile. It's always got really good information in it. I do want to read it. I'm just not going to do it right this second, so I'm going to hold off a little bit. Okay, that's fine. But what happens to a lot of those laters? I also do that with like our youth group update for my kids and I've got a whole slew of them. Right, and I get another one from them before I've gone back to read the first one, so what do? I delete it anyway, right? It ends up in the never pile. The nevers are the ones that I don't even give a chance. Adios, see ya, nope, not you, right? Out, gotta go. So let's talk about subject lines for a little bit. I have an entire hour-and-a-half class that I teach just on subject lines, and just for you, I put it on one slide today. You're welcome. Short and sweet, 4 to 7 words is the ideal window, according to industry standards right now, for the length of your subject line. I say 5 or less for your subject line. Remember that pre-header text that you're going to customize? You can get longer there and get a little more creative there. Attractive offers are great. Discounts, if you're going to put a discount in, or you're going to, right now is a really big time, right? Holidays, discounts and gifts. You have to mention that in your subject line. Otherwise, they don't know that it's there. They might not open it otherwise. That might be that trigger that gets them to open it this time. Keep it clean is a double entendre here. 1, keep it clean I'm talking about length and word choice, really, but also, it's good to be funny, but we don't all have the same sense of humor, so keep it clean. Brand identity, make sure you're working in your own. Hint of mystery is always good. Ask questions. One of my best email subject lines ever that I can recall. I have one that I got the other day that said, read this now. Lorraine, what do you want me to read? Right? Boom, opened it up, and it's all about subject line best practices. It's another digital marketer. Like, okay, that's really good. But the one that I really like, it was on a Saturday morning, and I got it, it's from someone that I'm on their list, and it said, need 3 hammers, ? And I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't need 3 hammers, but why do you need 3 hammers? Like, what? Click, and it was Habitat for Humanity, and they were short 3 volunteers for Saturday's build. They needed 3 hammers. Okay, pretty cool. Create urgency. There's another one for summer camp, talking about, registrations. Kids love it, parents dream about it, registrations open for summer camp. That was good too. Literary techniques, onomatopoeia. Does anyone remember what that word is back from 3rd grade English? It's a sound, right? So boom, splash, cha-ching. We all like cha-ching. Dollar signs. Those are all good. You do need to choose your words carefully. You need to avoid spam-like terms. If you don't know what terms are spam-like terms, take a look at the right. Those are spam-like terms. The more you use together, the more spammy they're going to be, or could be potentially. It does not mean that you can't use them. Just don't use a bunch of them together. You need to separate them out a little bit. You can also check your spam folder and use your spam check button. If you're using a service, there'll be those things in there. Never, ever, ever use the word specialist in an email. Does anyone know why? Ever. I mean, really don't use specialist. And especially don't have it like in your email actual address. That's really bad. Specialist. So I've got a couple people writing it out. If you think about it written out, SPECIALIST, right? If you take off the SPE on the front and you take off the IST at the end, you have CIALIAS. Anyone know what that is? If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's Cialis. And I'm not going to tell you what it's for. But that's why you don't want to use the word specialist, because that word, which is a high spam word, is stuck in the middle of a totally innocent word. Specialist. Okay? Don't use it. See, you learned something this morning. All right, let's put it all together. 3 easy steps for creating content are what? Picture, paragraph, call to action. Very good. Begin with your last customer question if you don't know where to start. Anatomy of a good email looks something like this. Your email checklist. Again, I will send you all of this. You just have to share with me your information. Keep the preview pane in mind, the top 2 to 4 inches, right? That's what's considered above the scroll for your digital device. Choose the right template for your message and for your design. Place your logo left or center, never on the right. I told you this, but I didn't tell you why. The main reason is that we read left to right, right? The secondary reason, most of us are right-handed, and so it'll get covered up by our thumb when we're moving things on our devices. Interesting, right? Communicate through pictures and make sure every picture is clickable to go somewhere. Less is more. Focus on relevant content, 3 or fewer images, and 20 lines of text. Okay, that's a big challenge for a lot of us, I know. Keep your call to action above the scroll line. Make sure that it's optimized and it will click somewhere. Make sure you're using your social media buttons so that it can get shared in multiple locations. And here's one more little fast tip for you. These are some of the industry open rates that are out there. I put this bit.ly down on the bottom, so if you guys go to bit.ly/CT open rates, you can find your industry and what your open rates are right now for those. The religious are religious about reading email, 40% open rate up there. Art galleries are at 32%, restaurants 22%, hotels 21%, education 26%. The average across all is resting between 23% and 26% right now for an open rate. It is kind of, but it's also very specific. They don't have a ton of people on their list. They have very specific people on their list, so I think they see a higher open rate that way. They don't tend to, me walking down, I have no reason to be on a medical service list. I just don't. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the less specified, your less. And so this is an interesting little discussion right now too. Let's talk about breaking down your list into multiple pieces. List segmentation, right? In different markets, you might have one market that's for, for me, I could have a market that's for email clients. I could have a market that's for my speaking engagements. I could have a market that's for my partners that I work with, right? And break them down that way. People these days would rather receive, this was just a thing I just saw 2 days ago. See if I can spit it out in an educated, well-versed delivery for you. Most people would rather receive more email with less content from you than less email with more content in it, right? So they'd rather receive 4 emails with the same amount of information that you might have sent in one really, really long one. Does that make sense? You guys follow me on that one? List segmentation is super important. It will help your open rates. It will help your division. It will help your sales. It will help everything. Figure out who wants to receive what information. No stupid questions. How do you start? You start with your own contacts. Who do you have in your phone? Maybe it's just your friends and family. Maybe it's just your staff, right? Maybe it's your current list of clients only, right? It's who do you have that you want to talk to, kind of a thing. And when you're starting an email list, you have to have permission to mass email someone, right? To send any kind of a marketing communication to someone, you have to have their permission. So send them an email that says, I'm starting a new email subscription list. Would you like to be included in this? They say yes, you're done. You're in. Just start with the basics. Start somewhere. Here's some more tools for you. Lots and lots of great local resources. We do have a 60-day free trial that I can help you with too, but honestly, the $5 offer is way better than the 60-day free trial. And there's a blog library, and we made it all the way through, and I'm pretty sure we are right on time. So that's awesome. Any questions that I can answer real quick before you move on? Yes? Facebook is 3 to 5 times a week. LinkedIn is going to be 1 to 2 times a week. Twitter, Pinterest, 2 to 5 times a day. Google Plus, once a month. Yeah, never, pretty much like once a month. Set it and forget it, right? Unlike your buns in the oven. And what was the other one that we had up there? Instagram? I would say a little bit higher on Instagram now. I'm going to tell you to go 4 to 6 times a week for your business on Instagram. Instagram's really easy, though. I mean, you pull out your phone, you take it. I just did an Instagram shot right outside the door this morning. Boom, right next to the sign. It's up, it's done. I also have a little airplane thing because I fly so much. I find funny things in airports, and then I post and say, okay, which airport is this? Trying to identify my friends, makes it interesting. YouTube. It really depends on your market for that one. I mean, my children will tell you that they need to post every single day. I have one son who really is like a YouTube addict, like I am a music addict, and I'm getting better about being understanding about it, but in the beginning it was definitely irritating as all get out, because that's all he ever does. And he's like, oh, Mom, I'm putting this on YouTube. Oh, great, Jack, for your 10 subscribers that he has following him, Okay, you're making it, you do, right? And I'm trying to not kill the dream, right? I'm trying to be the supportive parent, but I'm also like, really? Come on. It's all good. I had dreams like that too once. It really depends on your business for YouTube as to how much you're going to put on. If you want to be one of those big old YouTubers, and there are guys that post 3, 4, 5 videos a day, if they're really doing it. Some of the ones that my son follows, most of them that have really good subscribers to their YouTube channel are doing things. Again, it depends on where they are. And I have a bunch of gearhead as kids because my dad was a gearhead, and I love it because I can't do it, but I love it. They can do it. They got that do-it gene, so it's fun. But they're watching once a day. The guys that they follow are doing stuff once a day in their garages, or, what car they crashed this week and all that kind of stuff. So it's all over the place. It depends on what they're doing. Cooking, I have a couple cooking ones that I follow. Those are really only about once a week for their updates that they put on there. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys heard that. He was asking about having a YouTube channel and getting subscribers. It's just like getting followers on any other social channel, right? YouTube sends you an email whenever someone posts your, so-and-so has posted a new video, blah. So I get a reminder in other places for it. It's shareable across all markets. You can embed your YouTube video in your email. You can put it on your website, right? It's all that cross-pollination with all your digital marketing. That's the best thing about it in the social world. Use it in many places. Listen, and anything regarding racing, cars, this industry right here with all you guys is awesome on YouTube. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Yeah. B2B is going to be more LinkedIn, for sure, than anything else. Yep. So again, depends on your industry, right? There's never going to be the one shoe for everyone, kind of a thing. But if I'm going back through, and I can put that screen back up to the social media, your B2B stuff, business to business, is definitely LinkedIn and Facebook, right? Those are going to be your top 2. I'll click through a whole bunch here, and we'll get them. For business to consumer, Facebook, but then what consumer, right? Because are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? It's going to take me forever to do this. Might be easier to do it the other way. It depends on where they are. Does that make sense? Yes. You need to do a combo. Okay, so here's the thing with email. Here's this one back up here, right? This is the one we were looking at? Yeah. Here's the thing with email. The amount of money that you're going to spend on email marketing, you're going to get a return somewhere in the 45% range, right, for every dollar that you spend. Pretty dang good return. You're talking about social media, you're looking at like less than 7%. I will also say that Facebook advertising, Twitter advertising, best bang for your buck for social media advertising. I mean, pennies. You're going to spend pennies to get a lot of impressions out there. It's really easy to do. It's really affordable. Good. Yeah. Not going to be the same. I know, you can try. You got to start somewhere, right? Not kill the dream. All right, good questions, you guys. Thanks for a great class. I hope you have a great show today. I'll stick around for a little bit if you guys have questions. If you want the slides, you need to give me your information.